Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Ganganapate Namaha. Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwaraha. Guru Deva Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Sarva Mangala Mangalye Shive Sarvartha Sadike Sharanye Trambake Devi Narayani Namostute. Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Mahalakshmi Rupena Samstita. Namastasya, 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 namo namaha. Om Trambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanan Mrityar Mukshiyamamritat. Om Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya. Shri Hanumanji Maharaj Ki Jai. Welcome to Nitya Satsang. Today is the 17th of May 2026. I want to offer prostrations. Anandagodi Namaskaram to all the great sages and to Bhagavan, Bhagavad Tattva, Paramatma, residing everywhere in the heart of all beings at all times. We're continuing to examine how to open the Viveka, the discriminative intelligence vision between the real and the unreal, between the permanent and the temporary, Nitya, Anitya, Vastu, Viveka. And in doing so, we have identified through study of scriptures 10 major deficiencies that need to be eliminated from our system so that our intelligence, the Shakti inside, the Bhakti inside, everything opens properly. And hence we are then able to solidify our Jnana, solidify the right vision, and have unobstructed bhakti, nirvigna bhakti. Right? So these are the points that we have been looking at. Today we're going further on that list of 10 deficiencies into the deficiency of mada. Mada means pride and the inflation of egoic identity. This is a very serious problem in all of humanity because the sense of me, the sense of the strengthening of the ego. This is called mada. How do we translate this word mada? This is a Sanskrit word, again used in Gujarati, Hindi, Marathi, other languages also. Mada means pride. Now, see, pride is not a bad thing. You can take pride in your work. Pride is necessary in life. That good quality pride is not what we're talking about here. Even that good quality pride, in reality, all of the credit is given to God, to one's guru, to one's God. One doesn't take credit for anything. That would be the highest thing. But most people don't live that way. So when we look at mada, there are several words that come into the picture. Pride is one of them. Pride. The second one is arrogance. Now this makes it more clear. Arrogance is, I'm something great. Is the inflation, right? Intoxication with self-importance. You know how a person gets intoxicated with alcohol or with whatever drugs or whatever, with alcohol, let's say. This is a different kind of intoxication. Intoxication with self-importance. Look at how great I am. Look at how great I am. They're looking for that all the time. There are many people like that in the world. After a person gets a lot of money in life, it has satisfied lots of sexual desires and lots of money, this is the third one that opens up this deficiency. That wants to be appreciated, wants position, intoxication of self-importance, wants constantly to be praised by others, and is addicted to that intoxication. Anybody stuck in this can never find liberation. Or they have to let this go to find liberation. It's very difficult. Because the first two are difficult enough, which is the Kam Vasana and the the accumulation of monetary wealth. But once that is plenty, this is the third one that opens up. Egoic inflation. Not everybody, but so many politicians are like this, right? They want in a position. They want to be a mayor, a governor, a president. They want position. They want the pomp and glory of that power, of that position, to be praised by others. Anybody who wants those positions for that reason is totally lost. They are totally blind, in fact, to spirituality, to realization, and to truth. Andhro Purush, and so many people, that is the way it goes. And then they live that way, wanting to be praised, and then they're trying to hold on to those positions and hold on to their wealth and hold on to this, hold on to that, and the body becomes older, turns to dust, and they're reincarnated millions of times because of this. In many life forms. So the reincarnation, it will continue. Punarjanma. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, punarapi janani, jatare shayanam, iha sansare, bahu dustare, krupaya pari, pahi murari. Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam Mudamate. Shankaracharya ji has written this. This is a very serious problem. Mada. Ahankar. And person becomes intoxicated by power. Person becomes intoxicated by knowledge. It can happen. You could be very knowledgeable in academic disciplines, scriptures, even worldly activities, whatever. And is very knowledgeable and then gets, ahankari because of that. One can get intoxicated by beauty, Miss Universe and all those things that are there. People are praising all the time and pictures are taken and this and that and attraction, attractive women, attractive men, they're getting attention all the time. Iska ek egoic happiness hai. Very interesting. This is you see why hardly anybody gets mukti. Mukti ka mil hi nahi sakti. Kis prakar ki mukti? People are stuck in all this mess, in all this vritti. Isme hi, that's it. To run after these things. Then that's all you will get. Intoxicated by wealth. All kinds of intoxicated. Me and mine and this and that. Agnan hai, maha agnan. Intoxicated by achievement. Massive resumes, 10, 15, 20 page resumes. This publication, that thing, this degree, that thing. Look at how many degrees I have. Look at how many jobs I have. Look at how much income I have. Me. Intoxicated by achievements. Intoxicated by lineage. In the lineage, my parents were like this and their grandparents were like this and this wealth has come down and they were great lawyers or great doctors or great businessmen and this and that. Look at how big I am. Look at how great. This is called intoxication by lineage. ये सबको फेंक देना चाहिए. Otherwise मुक्ति नहीं मिलेगी कभी भी नहीं. आनंद भी नहीं मिलेगा. आनंद नहीं मिलेगा. भगवान इन गुजराती में से भगवान ने झांकी पण नहीं था. You cannot even get a glimpse of God with this trash inside of us. A total trash hai, each and every one of these things. Intoxication by power, intoxication by knowledge, intoxication by beauty, intoxication by wealth, intoxication by achievement, intoxication by lineage, intoxication by status, worldly status. This is my status. Other people are less than me. Wearing top-notch clothes and suits and this and that, sitting in big offices and on those big skyscraper buildings and sitting on the top floor and massive suites and all that and running after that and getting bound by that, ahankari. Limited experiences there. फिर वो जब मर जाएगी body, इसका फिर क्या गति होती? You find out after that. Think about this. Intoxication by even spiritual achievement. And what kind of achievement? Siddhis. Ashta Siddhi. 8 major Siddhi, 8 minor Siddhi. Bahut tapasya. Lots of sadhana is done. Lots of disciples are there. Chela Chelino Bandhan. 100 people, 200 people. Guruji, this, that. That goes to your head, finished, dropped into point zero again. Bahut hua hai, and people want that. If 5 people start considering Sachin as Guru, Sachin is flying somewhere. Okay, what nonsense is this? The desire to become guru, the desire to teach somebody else that I know better than you. This is all agnan, total agnan. And it is ahankar, it is mad. And then when organizations grow, I'm the head of this organization. I've got 10 people, 20 people, 100 people, 200 people. They're following, they're part of this organization, they're part of me. Yeah, that may be necessary, it is. But the ahankar that comes with that, seva bhav, it goes away. Sansar mein, people don't, this desire to progress further in the material world is not out of seva bhav usually. But that is real progress. Real progress in the material world is to progress, no doubt, but with seva bhav, with bhakti, with good for all. That is a saintly quality. Baki to, it's an ant quality. It is a contracted quality, ahankar. It leads into the insect world. Wahan hi gati ho gayi. If the mind becomes contracted by this mother, pride, arrogance, me, this, that, the consciousness, psychological consciousness contracts, it goes straight into the lower life forms. Spiders and bugs, and that's a life form somebody will get. इसीलिए ये सब छोड़ना पड़ेगा. There's no choice. People running after this are lost. They have caused a lot of damage. They are causing, even today, they're causing damage to millions. They're not interested in serving people. They're interested in causing damage to others by inflating their ahankar, their ego, their position, the strength. You wonder why is it that the world cannot come together? All the countries come together. We are one people. Vasudeva Kutumbakam. It's a simple thing. Even 5, 10-year-old kids know this. Ahankar. It's nothing but ahankar. Me versus you, my property, my wealth, my this, my property. Nothing is ours. And these people who are living in this sansar this way, which is a majority of them, and they're thrashing each other, then they wind up in the lower life forms. Banjao jhad, banjao, become a tree, become a bug, become a whatever it is, That is what you deserve. Bhagwan Ishwar jo hai, Atma mein, wo dekhte hai ki aapki vritti kaisi hai. He sees the totality of the manovritti and thrashes the jivatma straight into the lower life forms. Ante yamati sagati. Ye satya baat hai. That is the reality. So one has to be very careful that these 10 deficiencies are eliminated. And this one here, mother, the deadly one, absolutely deadly. Deadly in what sense? It causes lot of pain to others and to oneself. And the ego enlarges itself. Arrogance, intoxication, ego inflation. The word mada suggests a kind of intoxication. It's an interesting word, intoxicated by the ahankar. Not simply intoxication by alcohol or some other substances. To be intoxicated by pride, by ego. Because it is a kind of intoxication, psychological, through ahankar, because that alters our perception of truth. We cannot see the reality of Brahman, actual truth, actual satyam. It gets blocked off. So under the influence of mada, which is pride, arrogance, intoxication of self-importance, or egoic inflation, the person does not see clearly. Clear vision nahi isme aata. Clarity is not there. Clouded vision is there. The ego enlarges itself and considers everybody else, other things, as less than me. Others are less than me. It claims ownership over qualities that are actually conditioned, temporary, and dependent on countless causes. All that simply means it says, I'm the one. Like for example, when Shankaracharya ji writes Vivek Chudamani, he gives obeisance to his guru, Govinda Padacharya. He puts all the credit to him. He doesn't take credit for himself. This is Sanatan Dharma. This is Seva Bhav. When a person starts to take credit for themselves, they become blind. They become arrogant. Yes, they may have achieved a lot, but the credit is given to those who came before because it is on their basis, their krupa, their wisdom guidance that one is progressing. Credit is always given to one's teachers, to one's professors, one's parents, one's gurus, what scriptures. One doesn't inflate oneself. Others may say, okay, you're very, very knowledgeable. So you accept that. That's okay. You accept whatever praise may come with equanimity. If somebody praises, accept with equanimity. If somebody blames, accept with equanimity. Tulya, ninda, stuti ramoni. Ninda, stuti, praise, blame. That's okay. That's fine. But one does not praise oneself. And sometimes even one may act very humble, but then that is to show off to others how humble I am. That is also not humility. That is not aham shunya bhav. Right? So all this kind of stuff is critical to keep in mind. Therefore, shamaha, the quality of pacification, quieting the mind, steadiness, the internal quality, these are real qualities, right? It slows down. The quality makes the inner space steady. Because we have our own self-narrative. It's called self-exalting narrative. If you're taking notes, you can write some of these down. I'm making a recording. You could listen to it later. Self-exalting narrative. Self-exalting means what? It's a narrative about me, who I am, my own. We are thinking about ourselves so much. We need to some extent. And very tricky, very subtle also. But when we become silent through mantras, stotras, bhajan, kirtan, etc., we don't think so much of ourselves at that time. Whatever abilities we have, they are given by God. Whatever achievements we have done them, no doubt, but that is coming from Krupa. I see that this kind of, even if their social position, status, that is to be used for seva, to be used for the benefit of others, not for ego development. Intellectual gifts. Some people are very intelligent, they have lots of abilities. They are used for the benefit of others. They are not possessions of an independent ego. It's me, mera. Like for example, if Sachin knows 30 verses of the Gita, and I start telling people about it and all that, which I do from time to time, which we do, right? We share. The ego cannot be involved in that. Sometimes people say, Sachin, you know the Gita very well. I have to see how much I know the Gita actually. Anybody might say anything. Just because somebody can speak a few words and speak a few things doesn't mean that they know that thing very well. And it certainly doesn't mean they know it thoroughly. And even if they knew it thoroughly, ahankar should not come into that thing at all. Actually living, that's the Gita. That is not about showing off to somebody. See how this works. Aham shunya bhav. Real aham shunya bhav. Even talking about this can cause ego. Sachin is talking about it right now, and then I can say after this, in 10 minutes, we'll be done with the exposition, and my ahankar can say, look at how nice I talked about it. One or two people say, Sachin, that was a good thing. I got a lot out of it. Somebody sends a message or something. That's it. Ahankar grabs hold. Finish. This happens. It can easily happen. That is why keep the feet on the ground. Don't get inflated by anything. Whatever achievements are there, remain steady. True greatness is in humility. It's the analogy of a ripened mango that When a mango ripens completely, it droops down. And then eventually it can be eaten, right? The fruit can be eaten by others. The sweetness is for others. That is saintliness, sadhuta. That sweetness is not for one's ego. A fruit, many mangoes come on a mango tree. Some are unripened, some are ripened. The people that are unripened are still doing sadhana and they're stuck with all these deficiencies. But the ripening is where the ahankara drops away. Eventually the mango falls away from the tree, fully ripened, fully sweet, and it gives sweetness to all. That is called Atmagnan, Brahmagnan. That is called sadhuta. That is called love. That is called being a very sweet person. It's the sweetness of the emotion. Sweetness of bhav. That is called pavitra drishti, divya drishti, brahma drishti, bhagavad drishti, things like that. All these beautiful words come into the picture. This is the quality. This is the harmful quality of mother. Yes, egoic inflation. To inflate me. The whole world is running this way. And they are competing constantly for this. Somebody's making 50,000, then there's some above, the person above is making 120 person. It's a hierarchy like this. And running after that, more money, more position, more control, more power. Yes, we need money. Obviously, these things are, that system is the way it is set up by Agnan. It's not set up for seva. It's set up for competing with others and knocking somebody else out. That is a world system, hierarchical. And then what happens in that is egoic identification. But even while living in the system, we live in the system because that is the way most of the humanity is living. You don't have a choice. Children are brought up in that system. You don't have an ideal system where it's not egoic identification. That's not present in the Brahmand anywhere actually. That is in the abode of God. Bhagwan ke dham mein wo nahi hai. Baki sab jagah ye sab trash baat hai. Even in the Swarg Lokas and everywhere, the whole Brahmand is filled with this egoic identification. Think about it. But if we can rise above that and do our duties, yeah, there may be positions and all those things, but escape egoic identification. Get rid of that. Do it as a seva. Do the duty that has to be done. Don't get caught up in the agnan of others and in these power struggles and all this thing. And do your duties that have to be done, recognizing it's only a bubble. And because of that, there is no binding anywhere. That is all anitya. We do our duties to maintain the body, house, everything we need. Bhagwan ki krupa se everything remains where it should be. But we don't want to get bound inside the sansar. If we get stuck inside the material world, it's a massive trouble. So this body, it is, eventually it will go. We know that. But while it is here, so we can rise above these 10 deficiencies. And the one we're talking about today is mother. Arrogance, intoxication with self-importance, to rise above that. Yeah, one may be in a big position somewhere, but see that position as an opportunity to help others, serve others, not just inflate oneself. One has to see the practicality of it also. This is how we develop strength in bhakti, because the only thing that is going to matter by the time the body comes to an end is the level of evolution in bhakti. Bhakti, Jnana, Vairagya, Dharma, Dharma, Jnana, Vairagya, Bhakti, Ekantika Dharma, Ekantika Sthiti. And that is why enlightened saints who have this sthiti, unke saath connection hona chahiye. You have this great realization, like Ramakrishna Paramahansa ka kaisa realization tha, right? Isn't it so? As an example, very popular, we know about his life, that I want that, the same realization you have. Great saints. Gnaneshwar Maharaj, बहुत Swami Sajanand Ji Maharaj, बड़े बड़े संत परंपरा हो गए. And in the spiritual domain, in the worldly domain also, great people are there. Everywhere. They're there. Identify with them. So the real greatness opens up. Not this ego-driven activity. You know, sab vastu ka ahankar aata hai. One has to be very careful. And this is where Atmagnan opens when this egoic pursuit stops. Egoic pursuit stops. And so one remains very strong. The strength is of bhakti, not of this ego. People who are functioning in the world out of the strength of the ego, and they're living that way, trying to inflate that, trying to gain more experiences in the material world egoically, because that's how the world is set up. For example, take hotels and motels. You can get a Motel 6 or something relatively cheap. Then there's so many levels above that, 5-star, 7-star. I think, as I said to you, in Princeville, Hawaii, this is years back. I don't know what the price is now. There's one of the Hilton or something like that over there. Princeville, Kauai, the island of Kauai. It looks like a picture-perfect place, right? Heavenly place. And the topmost suite is $10,000 a night. Wow. I want that. As if going into that, you'll find the doorway into the Akshardham, Brahmadham, Ananda, Akhanda Anand milega isme se. People are pursuing, they fantasize this thing. Yeah, you do get some experience. You get an experience of luxury and material luxury and beautiful vision and, the material vision and all that. All that thing you get. Atmagnan nahi isme milta. Atmagnan is not about those things. Those experiences are there. And one wants them, is chasing them. That I have to have lots of money so I can be on that 10,000 suite and tell my small group of people, or maybe invite them over, exclusive cliques, exclusive groups, special groups. And this is what people are wanting in the material world. Isn't it so? And once they get that, it's a limited experience. Eventually it becomes old. The Polynesian people living in the island of Kauai, they think it is hell actually. I spoke to them when I had gone there years back. They said, we want to get out of this. They think New York City is heaven. And the people in New York City think that island of Kauai is heaven. See this? They cannot wait to get out of that place. Because they were born and brought up there. Said, what is the big deal about this thing? We're tired of this. We want to go to New York City. That's a lot of stimulation and excitement. They think that is heavenly. And people in New York City said, this is hell. We want to go to the island of Kauai, do meditation, dhyan karenge wahan, kitna sundar hai, ye hai, wo hai. How do you explain this? Listen, the people in the island of Hawaii, these are Polynesian people. And in the language it was given by the Quaker Christian community, their script. It's a very interesting history. Polynesian. And they don't want to stay there, but they don't have the money. They are doing service jobs for all the rich people that are going over there. They're buying properties and all that, and they do service jobs. Hardly anybody can even afford to go to Hawaii, not to mention live there or buy any property. It's chasing the experiences of the senses. The swarg mein jaonge to it's 1,000 times more. But the access point into the Brahmadham, Bhagavad Dham, it is by removing these 10 out of the system. Akhanda bhakti karo, straight away Archi Marg opens up और भगवत धाम में हम जा सकते हैं. Bypassing all the Svargalokas, bypassing reincarnation, not getting stuck in all these limited things. Shanik, Nashwant, Tuchha, इसमें क्या है? And to be lost in that, to be stuck in that. Bhagwan का जो अमृत है, अमृत नाम, the name, Namamrut, that is the real Ananda. And then your internal meditation, dhyana, connection, vritti, that solidifies. You're sitting in dhyan, आत्मा का जब दर्शन होता है, that is maha manohar. Bhagwan Swaminarayan कहते हैं वेदरस, आत्मानुदर्शन है maha manohar. It's extremely beautiful. Your own swarup is beautiful. Because of that Atma Chaitanya, this Prakriti seems to be beautiful. It is a reflection only. Pratibhasika Satyam. I hope these points are clear. Again, solidify mantra, shastra, stotra, guru parampara, mandir. These 5, increase the contact with them. And automatically, samatva will come. Whether you're sitting in Hawaii or sitting in your home or sitting in your car, yes, experiences go on. Samatva bhav. इसमें कोई ऊपर नीचे नहीं होता. Why? Because you're not chasing those experiences. There is that you tapped into bhakti. Wherever you go, ananda is there. The experiences do change, obviously. It's a very beautiful day outside today, for example. My plan is to go to mandir this evening. Maybe this morning also we'll go. That's fine. Some experiences continue, but they change. They're anitya. Pura जीवन का अनुभव ही ऐसा है. It changes. But in that anitya, bring inside this wisdom to drop these 10 deficiencies. Living with mother and pride and arrogance, it's very harmful. And that is a blockage. Right? So we understand this. And Atma Gnan, Atma ka jo gnan hai, Paramatma ka gnan hai, it's Atma and Paramatma. Brahma and Parabrahma, Akshar and Purushottam, Swami and Narayan. Right? This concept, right? This is the BAPS concept, Swami and Narayan. The controversies are there about that. I don't want to go into those things. But it has to do with Bhakta and Bhagwan relationship. It's the relationship. And when the relationship is established, then you will not forget. Then that relationship continues because there's constant newness. Naveen bhav. Chadto rang. In Gujarati it's called Chadto rang. That you're increasing the ranga, increasing the bhakti. It's not becoming old. These Panch Vishayas become old, right? You go to the Princeville, Hawaii and all that, Kauai and all those things. You stay there for a couple of days, it'll become commonplace. Then you'll say, no, I want to go to Las Vegas, I want to go to New York City, I don't want to stay here anymore. Now it's what is new in this. It becomes old very quickly. In the beginning, it was very new. That's the same thing that was giving so much enjoyment and pleasure and all that. It becomes tiresome and old. And then if you stay too long, you say, I want to get out of here. I cannot wait to get out of here. It's like people who go on a very long vacation. In the beginning, they're very happy and enjoying. But then by the time goes on, they say, I cannot wait to go back home. We have experienced that too. We start going out for 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks somewhere. You say, now I'm looking forward to going back home because I'm tired of this now. That is an example of Agnan. That is Agnan. The Jnani, one who is a true Bhakta also, moves through the different experiences, is tapped into Paramatma, where there's constant Ananda. It's not conditional like this. And the experiences of life, they continue as they are. Right? So these are the points to keep in mind. Today's exposition was on Mada. Very important thing to recognize. Bhagwan ko prarthna, asking God to remove this deficiency from the heart, asking the gurus to remove, and then resonating with Ananda and continuing our regular activity in the best possible way with a lot of love and affection, right? So let's stop here for now and we'll pick it up tomorrow. We'll open it up for some any comments you may have. Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kurume Deva Sarvakarashi Sarvadam Ganganapade Namaha Om Rim Swaha Radha Krishnaya Namo Namaha.